Welcome to the respiratory system. This is the system that gets oxygen in so we can make lots of ATP. You already know some of the parts. We start in the nose. It warms, filters, and moistens the air. This is very important in Minnesota winters to breathe through the nose rather than the mouth so we can warm and moisten that air. Then through the pharynx. Pharynx is the same as the throat, and food and air share this passageway. Then down to the larynx. Larynx is the same as the vocal cords. Only air should go here. And of course, you need this when you're talking. And finally, it goes through the trachea. Trachea is known as the windpipe. That's what you learned in elementary school. And it leads to the lungs. It's lined with cilia to sweep mucus with particles trapped in it, or just plain old particles, sweeping it away from the lungs. So we don't want any dirt and germs and things like that in our lungs. And finally, to the lungs, where the gas exchange takes place. As air goes to the lungs, it goes through two bronchi. These are two large tubes, one going to each lung. Then smaller bronchioles. These are the branches of tubes. And finally, the lung tissue. The alveoli are the air sacs in the lungs, and they have a very large surface area. That's a very common thing in biology. Lots of things are done to make large surface area. In the lungs, alveoli do that. And this is the place that the gas exchange occurs. These are little air sacs, and there's capillaries surrounding those air sacs for the gas exchange. So gas exchange and transport. Remember, the whole idea of the respiratory system is to get oxygen to our tissues and carbon dioxide out of our body. When blood arrives at the lungs, it has low oxygen and high carbon dioxide as waste. So in the alveoli, oxygen diffuses from the lungs, which are high in oxygen, to the blood, which is low in oxygen. And carbon dioxide diffuses from the blood, where the carbon dioxide is high, to the lungs, where the carbon dioxide is low, so we can exhale that carbon dioxide out of our body. In the body tissues, the opposite occurs thanks to the circulatory system. Remember, diffusion is a movement from areas of high concentrations to area of low concentration. Breathing is kind of cool. There's no muscles in or connected to our lungs. A lot of people think, oh yeah, muscles must do this. Well, they aren't connected to the lungs. It's really a result of a difference in air pressure in our chest cavity. The movements of the rib cage and diaphragm change the air pressure. So for example, when you inhale, the volume of the chest cavity increases, pressure decreases, and the air rushes in. When you exhale, the volume of the chest cavity decreases, the pressure increases, and the air rushes out. If the seal of the chest cavity is broken, breathing would be pretty near impossible. You've probably seen that on some medical shows before. That's the respiratory system.